Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his
monthly bill?
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
Hello, and welcome to James the Lesser Express Lane, where we get you in and out as fast as possible. DSP has been going on a rant. Like half an hour now. So I found the beginning of it, and well, let's go!
Now, news. There's two news stories I'd like to talk about, but they're incredibly related. The first news story that I'd like to talk about is that the new Matrix movie came out. What's it called? The Matrix Remembrance. Oh, remember the Matrix movies? Well, here's a new one, because we have no good ideas for new content, so here's another one. You know, when they keep rebooting these movie series over and over and over and over and over, and they just keep bringing them back because they don't have any original ideas, well...
He says this is about to play Grand Theft Auto 3 for a third time. After playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City for a third time. After playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for a third time. After having played Dark Souls multiple times. And Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 and Demon Souls and everything else multiple times.
It's the Matrix's turn for that, okay? So it's out. You can see it now in previews. Some people have, can't see it till tomorrow or whatever. What's it called? Oh, Resurrections? Oh, the Matrix Recycled. Actually, that's a better name for it, actually. The Matrix Regurgitated. There you go.
See the irony in this.
Anyway, so the reviews are out for people who saw it early, and there's a big dichotomy. Some people seem to absolutely love it and say it's the best Matrix movie since the Matrix 1 in the 1990s. I think it was like 98, 99 when it came out. And other people are saying it's the worst Matrix movie of all of them. It's terrible drivel. They should have never revived the series. What a joke. What a mess. What a waste of everyone's time. All right?
Should never revive the pig roach.
All right. Now, normally I would comment on the story and give you my opinion and everything. Well, actually, we're going to move on to the next news story. Because these news stories are incredibly related, although you're not going to be able to draw the parallel yet. All right? Here's the next news story. A female gamer, I believe it's a young woman, was playing Halo Infinite. And as she was playing Halo Infinite with voice chat enabled, two young men, dare I call them Chads? No. Two young men decided to say disgusting, sexist comments to her via the voice chat while she was playing the game in multiplayer. Now, you might say, what was said, first of all? Well, they made comments such as, oh, she's a female, she's a girl, so she's going to be terrible. No wonder she's at the bottom of the leaderboards of this game. Who would expect a girl to be good
sure,
at a
then we're talking about you, DSP.
This is why Master Chief was never a woman in any of the games. And similar, incredibly sexist comments. Okay?
Sounds like they're talking about you.
All right.
Because there's never a pig roach in any of the games either.
You may say, why are you bringing this up and how is this news? Well, the truth of the matter is that this is a common occurrence. We all know this. Anyone who's been playing multiplayer games for the last decade knows that everyone in voice chat of these games, the vast majority of them are toxic, disgusting, gross people. Spouting off racist comments, sexist comments. You know,
really?
Sexualized
you
content.
Got banned from an entire website for your racism.
Games. It never was the intention of the game developer, yet it's very rampant. I mean, holy fuck. Go back to watch some of my multiplayer stuff from 10 years ago, the days of Xbox.
How about we watch that Dead Space 2 clip,
like
huh?
Call of Duty. Just go back and watch some of the commentary that these idiots left on this multiplayer stuff. And it got to the point with me.
Where you ran and hid from voice chat?
Because
you're a little
used to muting it all. Like, it just kept getting worse and worse. When I started, it was a joke. Oh, 13 years ago, you laugh. Wow, what an immature, dumb kid. First of all, the kid shouldn't even be playing a multiplayer game like this because it's mature rated anyway. Who bought it for him, right? And then on top of that, they're acting like such a little shit, saying disgusting
stuff. Who bought you
stuff.
mature games because you're clearly not mature enough for them.
Like, who the hell? Where's their parents, right? But over
Where are your parents? Are they dead yet? After you've been crying that they're on their death's door
for the
past 3 years for money?
You just can't put up with it anymore. You got to mute it. I mute it every time now, right? Every time that I play a multiplayer game, I mute everything.
Because you want to hear,
I don't want to hear that
it's
shit.
the guy, I'm watching his Twitch again.
All right, so why is this news?
It happened during Friday the 13th.
Or woman, I don't know her age, so I apologize. Probably a young woman, I should call her. Posted this up on social media, in particular Twitter. And when she did, it went viral. People just kept retweeting it and saying, wow, this is terrible behavior. To the point where it got to people who work for Microsoft. And the people who actually created Xbox Live commented on it saying, this behavior has to stop. It's time for us to finally put our foot down. Okay? Okay. Now, you might say to yourself, wait a minute. Okay. The Matrix Revolutions has come out, and here's the reviews for it. Mixed reviews. And toxic, disgusting, sexist behavior on Xbox Live.
By you.
Well, on Earth could tie these two stories together. Right? Well, I'm going to tell you. Here's the common thread between these two.
Stop touching your face, by the way.
The people who are making a big tizzy about these things, the people who are up in arms about it and are actually like, oh my God, right, have lived in caves for about a decade. Or in some cases, about 20 years. Welcome to reality, everybody. Welcome to modern life. All right? If you don't remember, The original Matrix trilogy, all right? The first Matrix movie, when it came out, was well received,
It
mostly
was
for its
good.
graphics. Or if you remember, I say graphics because we're talking about the visual effects and the bullet time. Remember the bullet time scene with Keanu dodging the bullets? And it was like, oh my God, we've never seen anything like that in a movie before, right? That's what it was known for, okay? The plot was good, but kind of convoluted and a little bit unbelievable and a little bit ridiculous.
Touching
But for the most part, people accepted it and thought it was a good movie, okay? The Matrix Reloaded, the sequel that came out many years later, all right? Quite frankly, I remember seeing this movie in theaters with my friends. I remember the discussion around
Wow,
the movie
you still
when it
had
came
friends
out,
back then?
all right? People absolutely loved the action sequences. They had never seen anything in a movie like this before. They were blown away by the action in this movie. The fight on the highway on top of cars, the giant kung fu fights against the two twin viruses or whatever the hell they were supposed to be in the Matrix, and all the stuff going on. The fight, the big burly brawl between the 5 zillion Agent Smiths.
The last two kind of
and
just mixed
Anderson,
together.
You know, in the fucking playground. They're all fighting, a million of them, right? No one had ever seen stuff like that before. By the way, the plot was terrible. Oh my God. The plot of that movie was so convoluted, so overcomplicated. 27 new characters were introduced. None of them made any fucking sense. Anyone was, when you walked out of the Matrix Reloaded, you were like, wow, that was amazing. And also, what the fuck was that? I have no idea what I just saw. I'm so confused. That was literally everyone's reaction.
You probably
after
say the
seeing
same
that movie
thing
for the first
about
time. Okay?
movies made for
then
little
everyone
kids.
said, okay, it's the middle part of a trilogy. Maybe it was
I don't
meant
get
to be
it.
that way.
Why were they
Maybe
being
in
so
the
mean to
new
that
Matrix Revolutions,
reindeer just because
we'll
they had a red
finally get
nose?
our explanations of
My
all
nose
that
is red too from all my
convoluted, confusing
drinking.
plot, and we'll have the epic conclusion that everyone wanted. And then everyone went to see Matrix Revolutions, and it didn't have nearly half the action sequences or amazing stuff that the middle one had, and the plot was terrible. The plot was even more confusing. The architect, who the fuck is the architect? Is it an AI? Is it a VI? Is it a fucking virus? Is it the writer of the movie breaking the fourth wall? Is it Colonel Sanders sitting there trying to shill his chicken? Like, what the fuck is going on? No one knew. No one understood anything. You went into that movie, you walked out of the movie, everyone was disappointed, right? That was 20 years ago.
I don't think
20 years
everyone
ago,
was disappointed.
Okay? So when you tell me The Matrix Revolutions was a bad ending to the trilogy and a lot of people had a bad taste in their mouth, but then you told me, oh, they're reviving the franchise 20 years later with The Matrix Resurrection, you know what I say? Great, I know exactly what this movie will be. Probably interesting and great action sequences. There'll probably be 700 new characters you don't care about and don't know what the fuck's going on in the plot. You'll walk out of the movie probably saying, wow, those are really great action sequences and fights, and I have no idea what I just saw. Okay? And that seems to be the consensus. If you read the reviews, that's really how people are like.
So your typical Matrix
and it's
movie.
just hilarious to me.
They're all like that.
Some people are like, "Oh, it's the worst Matrix."
You gotta watch
ever.
them multiple
It's like,
times to
what are
figure
you
out what the
looking
fuck's
for
going
exactly?
on.
Like Shakespearean writing? Did you? What exactly did you think was going to happen when you went to see a movie that has 20 years the franchise has been suspended?
There's several movies
The only
like
reason you
that.
get another movie is to milk more money out of you. Did you think it was going to actually have a good story?
What's it called? Had Hugh Jackman in it.
But again, it's as if the
About
people
the
going to see
magician's
this movie
thing
were
in.
born yesterday.
It took me like 2-3 times to watch
Right?
it before I figured out what the
They
fuck
don't
was going
realize
on in
this
the
is
whole
how the
thing.
original trilogy was.
The
They go to the
Prestige.
new one and they're shocked.
Great
that the
movie.
Isn't that good when it comes to the
Kind of
plot and
confusing the
writing.
first time you watch it.
What? Right?
And like the second
So
time you
now,
watch it, like,
let's get back to
oh!
the online harassment and the rampant bad behavior of people over Xbox Live and or voice chat in competitive video games online. Again, anyone who's actually been playing games in the last decade will tell you, my God, it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so toxic. It's gotten so nasty. But here's what's happened in the last 5
People will
years.
show up and
Okay?
snort and go,
It
ack,
became
guys,
way
it's
more
terrible.
for women to play games on a mainstream level, which is good. It used to always be the good old boys club, right? I'm going to play a game online. It's all dudes. It's a locker room attitude. They're saying gross shit, and everyone laughs because it was always like that. Now,
You
things have
included,
changed.
DSP,
Women are
you
actually being
included.
welcomed to that atmosphere, that place, and they should be. There was no reason because of your gender that you shouldn't be able to play a fucking video game. It's preposterous, okay? So I'm happy
What about your
that women
species?
are now being
Are
welcomed
pig
into
roaches
the
supposed to be
gaming
welcome to the
landscape for once,
gaming world?
and we're not having that kind of locker room mentality anymore, okay? I'm like that. Much like when I was in the competitive Street Fighter community, it was the same shit. It was the same, all dudes, everyone with the dude's attitude. Oh, girl wants to play. She's gonna suck. She should go back to the kitchen and make me a fucking sandwich and shit. You know, sexist, disgusting
You
things.
mean
people would
all
say.
things you've said?
Okay? So, that's number one, is in the last 5 years, there's been a major change in gaming culture that women are now being mainstream accepted as part of the gaming community, which is excellent. But in addition, in the last 5 years, we've had the social justice movement, where people now feel it is important to push forward these kinds of situations to the public and say, hey, this is happening. It needs to be identified. We need to say, hey,
give me money.
You know, stop this. It's bad.
Snort.
Okay?
Wait, no,
I'm
no,
okay
that
with
was you,
that.
DSP. I forgot about
But
that.
where the fuck was everyone for the past 15 fucking years is my question. Like, why today, in 2021, is the day that we've decided that this is an issue and now we're going to try to fix it. Where the fuck were you the past decade? Hey, guess what? Xbox Live existed 10 years ago. Guess what? The people who are speaking up today who are part of Xbox were part of Xbox 10, 15 years ago. So why the fuck is it today an issue?
Maybe
right?
some of the people today at
It's
Xbox Live were back then, but you don't know that.
15, 10, 10
They could have massive
ago,
turnover
said,
every 2-3 years.
This. I was like, I'm trying to play this game
They
online.
could move on to other game
the
studios and companies.
Like, brain-numbing commentary from these fucking...
Or make their own game company.
Right? I couldn't take it. I was like, I don't want to hear this shit when I play a fucking multiplayer game. You know,
I don't want to hear. It's the guy I'm watching his Twitch.
I'm a content creator, right? And I'm trying to play a game online.
Don't forget,
and
he is the guy.
Inane, sexist,
except
racist,
now we're watching his
bigoted,
YouTube.
nonsensical drivel. Let me tell you guys something. There's nothing more that I enjoy. Nothing else on this planet gives me more
enjoyment. And getting drunk while playing WWE Champions. Call of Duty or
Battlefield. I turn on the voice chat, and the match is a 5-year-old kid going, fuckity, fuck, 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 fuck. I said fuck and fuck and fuck your mother and fuck your dad, fuck your sister, and you are Chad because of fuck, 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 fuck. And it's common. If you remember,
wow,
over
DSP,
10 years
that
ago, I
was
did a
brilliant.
video comparing Call of Duty to Battlefield in a year when they both released. And remember, I actually said in that video, the kids would not shut the fuck up with the obscenities. It was just constant. Right? It was constant. And that was a million years ago. Yet today, 2021, somehow this is a revelation to people in the gaming industry. What? People are using Xbox Live, something that I never intended would have this kind of behavior, for bad behavior? Yeah, we've been telling you it for 15 fucking years, you fucking dunce. You ignored us. We all complained about it.
These kids is cursing, saying fucking
let's be honest
you
here.
fucking dunce.
Right, now let's really be honest here.
Way to...
Do you want to know why
it was the kettle black?
Because it was a bunch of fucking dudes. Right? And let's be honest. Who was the major customer base of video games for the longest time? A bunch of dudes. So they don't want to say nothing, because if they say something, they're shooting themselves in the foot for the people who are buying their fucking games every year. All right? We talk about this. Every year, there's people who go out and they will buy Call of Duty. Every year, regardless of what version it is, regardless of what's in the game, regardless if it's the worst Call of Duty or the best, they just buy it. All right? Now, if all of a sudden, you tell that dumbass customer...
Am I the one noticing he goes like red, and he goes pale, and he goes red,
I buy Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty, right? By the way, you can't just go out there and do what you want anymore on the voice chat. You can't be a toxic asshole. If we catch you and report you, you're out of here. You're banned. Well, that's what I do. That's my gaming experience. I go out there and I just say nasty shit. Yeah, you know? So that's the thing. All right? That's the thing. For the longest time, that was the main customer base. If you do anything about it, you basically hurt yourself with sales. So they shut the fuck up for the longest time. Now, in the last 5 years, we have a movement. Females are now becoming a prominent part of the mainstream customer base.
I guess that's females. You mean women?
Of people buying games. So now it's prominent and now it's important. No, it was important
saying females.
10 to 15 years ago, and you ignored it because you wanted to make a buck. But now all of a sudden, people are actually actively noticing and complaining about it and posting it on social media. You can't brush that disgusting toxic behavior under the rug anymore to make extra sales because it's been exposed to the world. So now you feign concern. This could have been taken care of a long time ago. And this is what this is the same thing. 20 years ago, we saw the Matrix movies. We knew the plot sucked. The new one comes out. Oh, the plot sucks. I'm so up in arms. Where have you been for 20 years? Oh, 10, 15 years ago, Xbox Live was a toxic cesspool of sexist shit. Today it is too. Oh, I'm up in arms about it. Where were you for the past 10 to 15 years, right?
Why weren't you protecting me from the trolls saying ack, ack, ack?
We care about stuff when it benefits us.
Snort.
That's exactly what it's called. We didn't give two fucks about the toxic atmosphere of Xbox Live as long as we were making money on it. But now that women are complaining that it shouldn't be like that, and we realize we're going to look bad in the public and it may hurt our sales bottom line, oh, fuck, we got to act like we care and pretend like we're going to fix it, right?
Take a sip, sleazy asshole.
Now, listen. I'm 100% in agreement this shit should not happen. I told you, I hate it. I hate playing multiplayer games. You guys see, 9 times out of 10, I have to mute it. 9 times out of 10. When I play a multiplayer game now, I have to mute
10 times out of 10.
So
you can't deal with the chat. You won't even let your mods join you in chat.
Certainly hope they will fix it.
Stop touching your face.
But of course, then you're going to have people who are going to be up in arms. Oh, that's censorship. Oh, yeah. Censorship. We should just allow people to say and do whatever they want and be incredibly disgusting to groups of people and be biased and bigoted. Just let them ruin everything because that's freedom of speech, right?
Yeah,
let me tell you something,
freedom
guys.
Of speech.
No, wrong. That's not freedom of speech. Okay? Here's what freedom of speech is. Your ability to say things and criticize things, all right? And not be jailed for it, okay?
Freedom of speech only technically applies to the government. The government cannot censor what you say or do, short of, firing a theater that's crowded when there's no fire. Private companies can completely censor you whenever they want. It's why you can't go to McDonald's and have the cashier looking at you, what the fuck do you want? Guess what? They're not allowed to say that because the company doesn't want them saying that. Or if you're in DSP's chat and you say Panda Lee, you're immediately banned.
Not be
Panda reeee.
Not have your stuff taken away. Like, for example, freedom of speech comes into play with the government. Right now, I can say if I want to, and by the way, this is just a hypothetical, I disagree with how the government is being run. Oh shit, do I hear the stormtroopers coming in to take me to jail? Right? Because I said that? No. Because when we live in a country here in the United States, it's freedom of speech, right?
Snort.
And we have the ability to say stuff like that and to criticize. However, people always get it convoluted and confused. Freedom of speech versus having consequences for what you said. That's different. You have the freedom to say whatever you want, right? And you're not going to be incarcerated for it or whatever. But if people disagree with what you say, they have a very active right to verbally disagree with you and or you verbalize that disagreement to the public. And now guess what? If you said something fucking stupid, everyone's going to hate on you. And this is how cancel culture started, right? And by the way, no, I do not agree with the crazy lengths that cancel culture has gone. I do not. I think that sometimes...
Man, he rocked hard on that one. He almost fell out of his seat rocking so hard saying that.
Gets completely out of proportion, out of control, to the point where it steamrolls people into, you know, the end of their life in a lot of cases, right?
Snort.
But the point I'm making here is, you shouldn't just have the ability to be the most disgusting, toxic, insulting person to someone and hide it under the guise of freedom of speech. Sorry. If you have a point to make it. But don't just be a blatant bigot, a blatant sexist, racist, and be able to get away with it. I don't believe that should be, you know, you want to talk about that shit, you want to be like that, be like that behind closed doors in your own house, and you have the ability to do that because you have freedom of speech in the United States. But the moment you go out to the public space out there, and you start spouting out your filth, your incredibly small-minded, unintelligent drivel to the masses,
saying
now
Panda
you're being held
Lee,
accountable for it. You see?
saying snort, saying get a job.
That's my,
you know, that kind
you
of
go on
toxic
Xbox Live,
evil stuff.
Turn on your active mic and you decide to say that shit on there, and you get banned from Xbox Live. I'm not shedding tears for you, bro. Sorry, Chad. You're banned because you're a fucking idiot. You know,
So
I don't care.
saying
I don't want to hear
DSP
it.
get a
I don't want to hear
job.
excuses. I don't want to hear complaints about this shit. Okay. All right.
Alright. That'll be enough of that little rant. And all because DSP's a bitch who wants to get rid of freedom of speech. That way people can't keep making videos about me scamming kids. Help! Mr. Government, help! Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have one hell of a day.